So using the paint command to just change the color of a certain wall or a certain part of a wall rather than going to changing all the properties of the wall. So we'll go to, you can only do this, by the way, in camera views that you've created. So I've got a camera view of the outside of my building here, and if I click on the crop window of the camera view, it opens up this little command up here called paint. Nothing else is available on here really. There's match properties and so forth, but this little icon up here means paint. So if I wanted to paint, if I click on that, it gives me a palette of paint colors and so forth. And if you don't find the color that you want in here, we maybe have to add one. Okay, so I'm not going to add it here. I will go to up to materials. So when I'm in manage, I'll go up to a little icon up in the corner that says materials. I'll click on that, and that brings me to the materials page without actually having to click on a window or a door or a wall or anything else. So I'm just having the materials open up, and in this case it's giving me all of the materials that are in this project. But I want to narrow this down to just paint. So if you go up to the top here, it says material classes all. If you click that down arrow, we can go find paint and minimize what we're looking at. So you'd want to do that first off. And then I have a category called paint, and it looks like it's black. So what I want to do is I want to duplicate it. So I'm going to go down here and duplicate that. And in this case, I want to create light gray or something like that. Just whatever color you want to create. Or I'll say blue-gray. So I want to change the name, and I'm going to call it first off, you click it, it'll show up as 2, then you click it and right-click and rename it. And I want to call it paint blue-gray. Now it's called paint blue-gray over here. I can go over here to the appearance. I can click in that box and I can find a blue, and then I can adjust that to whatever blue-gray I want it to be. Maybe that one's not the right one. Maybe it's this one. Maybe I can go. So maybe it's that color. Okay. And if you had a palette from a paint company, maybe Diamond Vogel paint or Benjamin Moore paint, and you found a color you liked, you could actually name it what it really was and go find a color that matches it. Okay, so that's the color I want. I'll say OK. Changes it in here. I also need to change it under the appearance. So under appearance, it gives me a color here that's some numbers, and if I click the down arrow, I want to edit the color, and I want to go try match that again. Okay. And actually, if I knew the numbers, I could have just typed those numbers in right here. If I went back to the first one, those 3 numbers that it lists on the bottom there, you could actually type in and get the exact same color. I'll just say OK there. Do I want it to be a matte finish, or do I want it to be eggshell or platinum or pearl, or how glossy do I want to make it? Maybe I want to make it eggshell. You know, the outside of an egg is kind of a semi-shiny but not flat color. So I changed the graphics, and I changed the appearance, and I'll just say, and we have the option here to click use as render appearance as well. So I'll say OK. So now I have that color in there. Now if I click on this line and I go to colors, I should find that one that is paint blue-gray. Now it's in there because I created it. If I click on paint blue-gray, and I come over here and I hover over a wall, it got painted. Okay, So I just painted that corner of the wall. The one thing you'll notice if I zoom in here, what I do, I lost my siding lines, right? Because I just painted the whole thing with paint. I can fix that by going back to materials, finding my paint, blue-gray, and simply putting a surface pattern on it. The model. Okay. 6-inch parallel lines. I can say okay, okay, and there they are. Okay. So now it has the pattern, and I painted that wall of my apartment that color blue. So you can come up with any color you want. You just have to go up to materials up here and create it, and it'll put it into that material list.